Alrighty, so my name's Mark and I'm the only glass blower in the Channel Islands. I'm just going to pick up a lump of solid colour and it's a kind of royal blue. Hopefully it will stay on the iron. I have to be very careful at this point because this solid colour can crack or break or fall off. So hopefully I'm going to get that molten. Then I'm going to do a succession of stages where I cover or gather clear glass over the top of this. Alrighty, so I'm going to get this one as hot as I can and I'm going to formulate a cone on the end of this bit of stainless steel pipe called an iron. I'm just making sure that it's totally stuck down there. So the idea is to keep everything concentric to the blowpipe. So I want to try and keep everything on centre. If you can imagine a central line running all the way down, if I leave the glass sag like that, see it sag? And I put it back on and it will go on centre again. And then the idea is to keep it on centre so that when I'm turning the iron, everything's true and runs in succession of form. You can see now where the colour's starting to come through because the glass is cooling. It's usually at about 600-700 degrees when you're working it, and as it starts to cool down, the colour will reveal itself. So I've got to initiate some air now. If you can imagine, the air bubble will start on the inside of the chunk of glass that I've got and blow through and round. So what you're actually left with is a very finite skin of blue that runs right round the inside of the vessel. I'm going to let that cool for about 40 seconds and then I'll go in and gather some more glass. Once I've got my initial gather, I'm going to run it on the Marver table. Then take it to the bench. So that's about 5 sheets of newspaper. But it's been wetted and carbonised so that the glass actually just floats on a bed of steam, so it doesn't burn your hand. Alrighty, so that's good. I'm going to get the next gather now. It's going to be a big one. There's more papering. So I use Jersey beeswax on the tools because it makes the glass slide, and if you're lucky you get some flames. So here I'm putting on an application of coloured powder. It's a sort of sunset yellow because the powder is basically ground up coloured glass that's going to melt into the surface and give it a slightly opaque look. because I want this sort of sand and sea type of feel to the glass. So the top half will be almost the sea, and it'll be a sort of colour of that sort of turquoise royal blue, and then the bottom half will be this sort of sandy colour with a sort of texture that will come through a bit yellow. I don't mind it in there patchy. What I'm going to do now is pick up another iron. Alright, so now I've got both irons in the fire. So now I'm going to put a trail on the outside of this bit of glass. So I'm going to put some decorative glass on the outside of this one. Alrighty, so I've got to get quite a lot of heat into this bit of glass now. I've got to make sure it's even, the heat, so that it distributes as it blows out, so I don't get thick or thin areas. I'm happy with the way it's going, although now it's starting to really get quite fluid, and I'm having to turn the iron quite a lot in order to keep everything on balance. If I hold my thumb over the end, the glass won't collapse. So this is called gas reduction. And that silver blue trail that I put on this glass earlier holds a lot of silver oxide in it, and I'm forcing the silver oxide to the surface of the glass, which will give it a lovely sheen. So I'm almost ready to put this glass into the annealer, where it has to sit overnight or for at least 12 hours. And in she goes.